Attention pro athletes. Want to secure your financial legacy and thrive off the field? Oakbridge Wealth Management, led by wealth manager Chris Anicetti, is your dedicated financial planning ally. But don't take it from me. Take it from the Dallas Cowboys' Tyler Biadasz. He says, Chris set goals financially and has been incredibly impactful in my journey in the NFL. Experience our customized, comprehensive approach, trusted by top NFL players. Don't leave your financial success to chance. Connect with Chris on Instagram at OakbridgeWM_Anicetti. That's OakbridgeWM_ANICETE, and let Oakbridge Wealth Management guide you across the goal line.
Bernstein again, big opening, pass 5, pass 10, Perko's a man, and he goes all the way to the 15-yard line. 17 yards out the carry.
Welcome back to Believe in Badgers on the Believe Network, presented by betonline.ag and Oakbridge Wealth Management. Once again, I'm Matt Perkins, joined, as always, by Badger legend, the Hebrew Hammer himself, Matt Bernstein. Bernie, how are we doing here today?
Matt Perkins, talk me off the ledge right now.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not the best person to be doing that.
You are not the best person.
No, because I am sometimes a little bit too reactionary. We're going to have a very reactionary version here of Monday Morning Fullback in just a moment. But before we do, want to remind the good folks listening and tuning in wherever they are that we are presented by betonline.ag, where they continue to be your number one source for all of your online sports wagering needs. You name it, they've got it over there at BetOnline. Head on over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit with our promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV. BetOnline, where the game starts. We're going to start right now with Monday Morning Fullback, like we do every week, good, bad, or ugly. When we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and this one was pretty darn ugly, Bernie. Badgers lose to Indiana, one of the toughest losses to stomach in a very, very long time. I guess I want to start with a question, though, for you today, Bern. What was your worst loss as a player?
Oh, my God. All of them. No, I would say, was it 02 or 03? We played UNLV. That had to be the worst.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was really embarrassing. Listen, I've lost at Indiana. Like, I know how this feels.
You were on the last team that lost at Indiana.
I know. Well, sadly, yes,
no,
now not anymore.
Team, but yeah.
I understand how that feels. I am not sitting here today like, I don't know what I'm saying is all. I'm very frustrated with. I mean, Indiana was not a good team, like by all means. They've not done anything. Everyone's like, oh, they put up a good fight against Penn State. What are you talking about? They're not a good team. They stink. And what's sad to me is we just really didn't play solid football. And this is where I need to be talked off the ledge. I was texting with Jake Coco all day yesterday because I'm like, dude, stop saying that we're injured, but you're right. Stop saying this, but you're right. Like, so we agree on all these things. Man, it just hurts. Just to score 14 points it's like killing me, right? Like we're going to get more into it. It's just painful. Like we can't score. And it feels to me, and I could be wrong, but as I'm watching it, it feels like it's hard for us to score points. Like it's not easy. There's nothing that comes easy on the offense at all. Yeah, we got a ton of injuries, but this is the air raid, and only DK on the wide receivers is hurt, and we got some studs. And I almost would bet that Green had all his catches in the first half. Tell me I'm right or wrong.
I think he had one in the second half.
So he had one. This dude is so good. All they do is talk. I'm just frustrated about all these things. That's what I'm saying. Okay. That was a rant.
Don't blame you for being frustrated, because one of my biggest observations and takeaways from this was just lack of execution on the basics, like the basics. And the 4th and 2 with a wide open Pauling is a perfect example of that. Just, wide open, good play call, bad execution.
Well, didn't it get, it was too high, right?
It was way over his head. It was way over his head.
Yeah. He's got, listen, I really like Braden Locke. But he's right now he's playing like par football. And par in golf is great.
I don't think you can even say that right now.
You don't think so? Fine. So he's playing like a little bit subpar?
50% of your completions.
Like par to me.
No, so 50% of your completions in 2023 in this offense.
Okay, but he has two drops this game, 2 drops. And hold on. Like, what I'm saying is like 7 were deflected, 3 at least, all during third downs when guys are wide open. So there's got to be a way around that. And I don't know what that is. I'm not a quarterback, but like the deflections are killer for us. And I think in the last play on 4th and 2, he's like, everything's been getting deflected. Let me just throw it over these dudes. Mm-hmm. And it can't happen. I'm not off of his train yet. I'm definitely on it, but man, we don't do anything. I got so many thoughts on the offense.
Nothing.
I needed Sweet Feet. We're gonna have him come on, but I needed him more to hear what his thoughts are. Here, do you want me to go for a rant real quick?
Do it. That's what we're here for. Just get it out, Bert.
All right. I think Jackson Aker is a good football player. I enjoy watching him. His skill set is between tackle and tackle. He can catch. I get it. A swing route to him is like throwing me a swing route. Literally, you're going to get 3, 2, 1 yards, maybe 5 if you're lucky. That's a touchdown for a fullback. Why is Yakimelli not out there? He's a speedster. He's better. He's got to be better in space. Doesn't make sense to me. And we're doing that too many times. We have all our guys are back. I was texting, was it with you or with other people, that we should not be throwing a third string guy a wheel route or a swing route. Like, that's bananas to me. Why? Give me Matt Perkins. Tell me why anyone would do that. I'm a little bit passionate and frustrated this week because why not put Pauling back there to throw it to him? Like, why not mix it up? I just don't get it. Like, are we forcing plays to be run even with injuries, which I get? So that to me it's killer. Like, I just don't get that. And then we don't go to Green in the second half. Like, I just don't get that either. And tell me this. I asked Jake if this is true. How many deep balls did we throw? Outside of Hail Marys, how many did we throw that went 20 yards plus? Not 20 yards after a catch.
No.
Because Green's catch was 5 yards and he ran for 60 yards.
You're talking about air yards, like yards down.
25 plus yards. I would almost go to say 0. Not counting Hail Marys.
I would have
prayers.
to look, but it was not a lot.
Yeah, not a lot. And then my ugly is that when the going got tough and we needed guys to step up, we did not do that. You know, like we had penalties. We didn't. I think. Man, I hate to say this, but like we didn't kick field goals. So it might have been from the top down. Like we just didn't execute. And you're right. I think the execution was not there. I don't think we had some play calls that we needed to have. I think we were trying to do all of our normal stuff with not our normal guys. Like when I'm in the game, if I was a fullback playing halfback, there's half of the playbook is out. Like you're not going to run a screen to me. Like that's wacky, right? So like you throw these plays out and you move dudes. Like Will Pauling can't line up in the backfield and run like he can do that. Yeah, it's obvious he's getting the ball, but who cares? I'd rather him be obvious and not get a yard than Jackson Aker catching the ball and not getting a yard. Like, what's the difference? He has a chance to break some plays. Okay. My ugly is that at the end of the game when we needed dudes to step up, we had penalties after penalties, all in these big opportune moments to cut the lead down. We're getting out of where we had a sack. It's like our brains are exploding instead of being mentally tough. You know, we had penalties, we had sacks, and then we can't kick field goals. And we had 3 opportunities. We could have won the game. So, like, these things bother me. The offense is starting to bother me. It just really is. I think it can be fantastic, and I'm excited for what it looks like in the future. But right now, like, we got to win football games. We can't just do what you want to do.
No. And what is frustrating is yet again offensive line penalties. 4 of the 8 penalties. Half of the penalties called on the Badgers in this game were on the offensive line.
Yeah, but 8 penalties is a lot of penalties.
It's bad, but it's like it seems to be acute to the offensive line position in terms of percentage of them
I mean,
on a
we had
weekly basis. Yes,
yeah.
like I know, like
Mhm.
they have to pick up a new system, but it just feels like something is broken. Like there were like again a lot of basic blocks that like weren't seen. Like there was, I thought one that was like emblematic of this was yes, he's a true freshman out there, so you don't expect him to be perfect. But Tucker Ashcraft was supposed to lead up through a guy and could have really sprung a Jackson Aker run and just kind of just stopped and stood in the hole. And then the guy came up and got Aker for like 2 yards. And like little things, little executions like that seem to be, it seems like something's going wrong on every play. And that's why you say like there is nothing's coming easy. First downs are not coming easy. And it just it feels like they're rudderless at some points. I don't know. I don't know the root cause of it. I mean, injuries, yeah, injuries don't help when your, arguably three best offensive players aren't there, right? But it's still Indiana. At the end of the day, it's still Indiana, who hadn't won a Big Ten game, whose 2 wins came over an FCS program, and I think like Akron, who's 1-9 in the MAC in 4 overtimes. So I don't want to
It's
take.
painful. Totally. There's like nobody in the stands. Like the whole entire thing is painful.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. If you just off of some good, the defense let up 21 points, under 300 yards. I mean, we didn't have a takeover, which hurt us, but they were trying. There was a questionable potential one that they ruled down because they just couldn't overturn it. But where Rodas Johnson, was it Rodas or where he punched the ball out? It was like very like gray area. Doesn't matter. It's just the defense played really well. I mean, I think they played much better. 21 points in a game is not bad.
20 points.
20 points. I'm sorry. 20. I'm thinking we could have won with 21. 20 points in a game is actually pretty good.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
I mean, there are still some things we could have done, but I feel like they are improving, and I feel like the offense has been plateaued for a while.
I feel like they're improving. I felt like the pass defense in critical moments, though, just didn't really come
guys are right
through.
there.
Yeah.
They're right there.
They're getting there. I feel like the defense is, of the 2 units, the one that's at least on a better trajectory at the moment. I can't say that word, trajectory, at the moment. But I'm still disappointed in everything that I've watched from afar. I'm still upset that things just don't seem to be clicking whatsoever. And I think we saw some of this boil over on the sidelines. You saw Phil Longo and Phil Longo and Mike Brown, the wide receivers coach, jawing at each other and yelling at each other on the sidelines. And, tensions are starting to get hot in and around. And that's what happens when you lose to Indiana. So
sadly, it is. We have a game. We have good opportunities to win out. We have good opportunities to go to a bowl game. All these things are important because this team needs more practice. They need more experience.
Yeah.
I think the coaches need more experience. I mean, they're experienced dudes, but it's all new. Everything is new for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm not off the bandwagon. I love Wisconsin. I just hate. Listen, I was there in 2003 when we lost to Indiana. Like, this is the most depressing thing you could do outside of even losing to UNLV. It's tough. I know what these guys are going through, and I know that we should have won that game. And I know Indiana played probably their best game they could have ever played, but we literally play not to lose. And you can tell that no one's playing excited, pumped up, like ready. No one's cheering. Jackson Aker runs over a dude. He just gets up and jogs back. Like, I love it for him. But, like, let's get excited a little bit. Like, you're playing football at a college level. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it really is. I don't know. You tell me. Do you think we should have kicked some of those field goals?
Well, apparently Vacos was too injured to kick them.
Oh, if he's too injured, then that changes the whole trajectory. But
my understanding is that he was too injured. But so, I mean, that's what you got. That's what I heard. I don't know, but he was well enough to kick the extra points, but he wasn't well enough to kick the field goals, like the long ones. you got me. I'm not an expert,
Oof,
not
that
a
one really.
doctor, nor do I play one.
That's why I
on
thought he
TV.
wasn't not out. He just was just they just didn't want to kick a 20 yards further kick. Okay, so like all these things are just speed bumps and obstacles in this weird, bizarre new year. But that is weird.
Yeah, special teams in general wasn't great. I didn't think punting was
But
all
why?
that
Why
good.
wouldn't he? Why wouldn't they go try to
Bernie,
kick?
I'm again, like I said, not a
But he
doctor.
can kick. Freaking Dare Agumbawale can kick a 33-yarder.
Yeah,
I
without a
love that he
problem.
did that. I love that he did that.
That was the best thing. That was my one football highlight of the entire weekend because for those of you who don't know, not only, I mean, if you've heard this before, you know I'm a Badger fan, obviously. You know I love the Buffalo Bills. They lost. My wife and I live in Nashville. My wife's a Vandy alum. It was alumni weekend. We were at the game. They lost. I went to grad school at UCLA. So did my wife. They lost. So my one like shining moment from the weekend was Dare,
The Jets could win tonight.
which would ruin my weekend as well as a Bills fan.
Well, I'm in for ruining your weekend just a little bit more. Although I have Garrett Wilson on my fantasy team and I need him to have like 15 points. So there are some positives even if the Jets lose this game.
Attention athletes. Do you want a frictionless and tailored financial planning experience to secure your future? Well, look no further. Introducing Oak Bridge Wealth Management, the premier financial planning firm for professional athletes. Led by wealth manager Chris Anicetti, our team provides a unique and comprehensive approach, ensuring your financial success both on and off the field. We understand the unique challenges you face as a professional athlete, from managing cash flow habits to planning major business purchases and navigating complex contracts. That's why we've developed a proven process, working closely with our strategic partners to provide seamless solutions for your unique financial journey. Our services evolve with your career, offering short, mid, and long-term goal setting, portfolio optimization, real estate investments, and more. As you transition to life beyond the field, we support you with career development and philanthropic ventures. But don't just take our word for it. Top NFL players like Chase Boulier, Tyler Biotish, Alec Ingold, and more trust Oak Bridge Wealth Management to guide them towards financial success. Troy Dye of the Minnesota Vikings says, I really love the work that Chris and the rest of the Oak Bridge group do. I especially like the honesty and transparency when it comes to setting up financial goals and plans that best fit my needs and situation. It's time to elevate your financial game plan. Connect with Chris on Instagram at oakbridgewm_Anicetti. That's oakbridgewm_ANICETE. And join the winning team.
Okay, wait, Matt Perkins, hit me with like some of the good that you saw.
Some of the good, linebackers.
Listen,
Okay, so linebackers played really well.
Yep.
Safeties, Austin Brown stepping in, getting a lot of snaps was awesome. I think that you saw this reflected in the depth chart for this coming week. He's now listed as a co-starter with Hunter Wohler and Letu, and I think he's done a lot. I like his progression. All three of the middle backers, Muma, Jake, Jordan, they were all fantastic. I think Daryl Peterson his play is getting more consistent again. So like, I guess it's sort of like the middle of the defense, if you will. The linebackers, the safeties, feeling pretty good about. Ben Barton had a really nice game. I thought probably his most impactful game of the season at defensive line. It's been nice to see him sort of break through a little bit this year, start to get some more snaps. CJ Getz continues to be rock steady. But, flipping on the bad, Ricardo Hallman had a tough game after a couple really standout games. He was targeted on 5 passes, and I think they were all completed or all but one were completed.
He was right there.
He was right there, but right there doesn't.
I know, I get it. But like that gives me hope because these dudes were all over their receivers. The guys just made great plays.
But but you saw
we need to do that.
You saw the matchup though in the end zone when they have a 6'5" receiver and he's on Jason Maitre, who's like 5'9" on.
Well,
when he's running lift.
I do know that. And he had to jump up 25 feet and get it. But still, you're right. You're right. But that's not a Maitri problem. That's a coaching issue.
Yeah, and it's a like, how does he get matched up like that in a clear situation where they're going to want to throw like that fade? So
Because that's what offensive do. They put you in
exactly,
a
that's what they're
position
doing.
that,
Okay, they know
yeah,
Mitch is going to be in the slot on every single snap. I'm going to put my
right,
tall dude in the slot and run
yeah,
a slot fade. And
yeah.
it's
It's not
matchups
brain surgery.
101.
Literally, is not brain surgery.
No,
No, I listen. I agree. I liked Yakimelli. I thought he was a good.
but he
But
also had the key
he had
fumble
a
that
fumble.
was a
I did it.
killer.
I know. I'm just saying. I liked what he was out there. I liked what he did. In what's it called? Conjunction with Jackson.
Yep.
Aker. So
Yep.
I like it. Yes, he had a fumble. It killed us. We had 2. They had 0, or we didn't get any that they did, and we lost 2. Kills us. Like we're not playing good football. What else? I mean, I said all year, Green looks good, and
Green is good.
he
Green's
had 5
very good.
catches for 96 yards. He should have had 10 catches. Like we spread the ball out, but like when dudes are hot, like we got to find a way. And I just really like him. I do.
I don't blame you. I think he's really good too.
CJ Williams, what do you have? Like 1 or 2 catches? Maybe
1 or 2. Yeah, but I think he had like
get these dudes
2 targets.
balls.
Yeah. But they're not throwing the ball downfield like you mentioned. And to me, that tightens up everything down below, and it's tough. We all want to see more, like especially from the offense. I think that.
But Matt Perkins, if this is what if I'm not Phil Longo because he's way 1,000 times trillion better than me.
He's forgotten more about football
than I
will know in 20 lifetimes.
Totally.
Like,
but all I'm saying is, if I'm sitting here going, okay, Jez is hurt, Braylon's hurt, I got my fullback from last year is now my tailback. Yakimelli's the 4th string dude, 3rd string, 4th, whatever you want to call.
Wasn't even necessarily recruited to play running back. He was recruited as an athlete.
I'm saying to myself, I'm going to mix in some runs. But my guys right now, where's a jet sweep? You're saying we can't do it? Like, we can do it. So, like, I'm going to get my guys the ball, and that is the wide receivers, and we're just not doing it. It's just to me, that stuff's weird. Like, we're rolling with our 3rd and 4th string, and they're getting they're getting a lot of touches. I find that weird.
Yep.
I mean, I like to mix it up. They run hard. Jackson Ager's going to take your lunch money when you try to tackle him. And Yakimelli gives you a little shift, and he can get a couple extra yards by just making you miss. But, like, I don't want to do that a lot. Braylon Allen, I want to touch the ball 50 times a game. But, like, these guys know their role. They're role players. I was a role player. Like, you have one sick game when everyone's hurt and you go in the second half against Penn State, but then you're a role player the next week. I get it. Anthony Davis is way better than me. There's no chance he's not. So, like, that's when you're like, okay, well, we need to throw the ball to Lee Evans. Like, we need to throw the ball. And we're the air raid, and why are we not throwing it to the dudes who are our best guys? That's just it.
I wish I had an answer to that, but I don't. I genuinely don't. It is frustrating, but you know what? You bounce back. You bounce back. There's still plenty to play for. Weirder things have happened, and I don't know. Maybe this is a rock bottom moment that is, turns into either an us against the world situation, like the proper wake up call. I don't know. I'm using a bunch of freaking cliches at this point to try to convince myself that everything is going to be okay. Everything is going to be okay. This doesn't mean that like the air raid is going to fail in Madison. There is a lot of, public frustration. Yes, but jumping to unnecessary conclusions about the fate of a football team and the fate of a football program after 9 games played. And it is,
we're just ranting about the bad things because that's what we do.
That's what we do. But
and we talk about some of the good things. But yes, I would agree. This is not the end all be all. Like, this season isn't going to look like every year. Everything is brand spanking new.
Mm-hmm.
I have a car for over 2 years. I still don't know what half the buttons do. I know it's a horrible metaphor, but like, What the heck do some of these buttons do? I don't know what they do. And the cars keep coming out with newer and greater things. And my daughter hits all the buttons and somehow like anti-lock brakes just comes on randomly, like when a car's in front of me slowing down. I don't know what's going on. So like we all have to adapt. Think about getting a new car. You get in, it seems amazing. You can do all the things you want to do in this world. You can hands-free call people. And then guess what? Your phone doesn't connect. What do? You're stuck. You're SOL. And I feel like that's us right now. We're learning. We're still learning. We're still figuring out. We have injuries. It doesn't help when you're trying to get some wins. I'm hoping this weekend we're bowl eligible. You know, listen, these are positives. You tell me, Matt, do you still think that this is the right way, the right path, the right road that we should be taking?
Yes, with 0% of doubt in my mind.
I totally agree with you. So if that's what we're saying here, even though we're talking all these negative things, then we're still doing the right things. We have all these ridiculous guys coming in. I think we're only going to get better. We have to give this whole new scheme, the whole new program, basically a chance. And I think we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. Everyone just relax. We're going to be okay. Now, if we lose to Northwest, I'm just kidding. We can't do that.
Can I make one public plea for a certain aesthetic change?
An aesthetic change?
Yes, an aesthetic change.
What, do I have to get a new T-shirt?
No, not
you.
This is for Coach Fickle. Please get the acronym off the back of your vest.
What does it stand for?
I have no idea, and I don't care.
Together, everyone achieves more?
Sure, why not?
You know what it should be? It should be Killer Bees. It should be cream.
Okay. I mean, we can do
rules
everything around
me. Get the money.
Dollar bills, y'all.
I think that would be ruthless if he just came out with instead of the motion W, the Wu-Tang W, Meth and Meds in the middle of this.
Okay. I could get behind that. Here's the thing. It feels like something PJ Fleck would do, and that's what annoys me.
Listen,
it's hokey.
He comes out in the same thing every time. I'm okay with it because he's my coach. But I do like, first off, we need to mix it up. You know, it's like when you lose everything, I always change things.
Of course.
So I'm like, oh, stink. Like if I lose a golf game, I think my socks are the reason I've seen 2 Wisconsin losses because they're my losing socks. So they got to go. I can't wear them to games anymore. Isn't that crazy?
My problem, listen, I am someone who has always been pretty superstitious. And
totally.
My problem is I got a new Badger shirt this summer when we were there for Squat Fest, and I love it.
Done it.
No, and I love it. It's like my favorite shirt. It's my most comfortable shirt. And I've worn it to watch 3 games, and Badgers have lost all 3 of the games that I wore it while they were watching. And I don't want to get rid of it, but like, I don't know what to do, man. Like, I don't know what to do.
I know what to do. Get the Wu-Tang W.
Yeah.
Start blasting it in the locker room.
That would be something. That would be something if you come out against Northwestern, all black Wisconsin uniforms with the Wu-Tang W on it.
With black and yellow, just going hard with the like Killer Bees. It's never going to happen. But all I'm saying is we digress deeply. I don't really care aesthetically about that at all, but
I do.
I hear you, and I'm sure other people care. What happens when it gets really cold? What does he do?
He just wears more layers under the vest, I assume.
Dude, also, Jake, maybe Coco told me this, or maybe I read it somewhere, but Fickle in Cincinnati went like, what, first year 6-7 or something like that?
Yeah.
So, like, these things happen. This is not – Nick Saban went 6-7. That's what it was. You told me that.
Nick Saban lost to UL Monroe in his first season. So
right. So here's where we are at. Nick Saban, one of the best coaches to ever be coaching.
Nick was like 5-7 in his first season in Cincinnati, or like 4-8 or something like that.
He's going to be the next Big Ten Nick Saban. Boom. I got to go.
Okay. Well, yeah, he was 4-8 in his first season at Cincinnati. 4-8. That is already finishing better than that. We know. And then what does he do from there? Just goes up and up and up. Okay. We are also going up and up and up every single day here. We'll be back later this week with James White, with Sojourn Shelton, with Warren Herring, Thanks for tuning in to Believe in Badgers on the Believe Network, presented by BetOnline.ag and Oak Ridge Wealth Management. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, on Wisconsin.